Hi, everyone. My name is Manolatos, and I'm the Regional Field Director for Future Michigan for Oklahoma-Macomb counties. And the civil rights issue I want to talk about today is the issues that impact the LGBTQ plus community. As a member of that community, that's part of the reason why I got involved in progressive organizing back in 2018. Back in 2018, one of my good friends from college called me up and said, hey, do you want to knock some doors? And the reason why they called me was because they knew that I had a particular dislike for then governor's candidate, Bill Schuette, who was running against now Governor Whitmer back in 2018. And the reason why that I wanted to get involved was because Bill Schuette blocked a Michigan Civil Rights Commission decision that would have allowed for protection for individuals like myself who are gay, lesbian, etc. in the workplace. And that is now gone in Michigan because of him. And that was the reason why I got involved, because I wanted to make sure and deny that man the governor's mansion. But this issue still needs work. That still hasn't been fixed since Bill Schuette lost the governor's race. The best way to fix this would be to amend the Elliott-Larsen Act, Michigan Civil Rights equivalent of the Civil Rights Act, amongst other things. There's still so much to do for this to make sure that we have equality in not only Michigan, but across the country as well at the federal level. So I would love to see more action taken on these issues to ensure that there is a equal standard of living and protections for those of the LGBT plus community, because it is just so important.
Hi, my name is Andy Ross, and I'm a student at the University of Michigan. As a student pursuing higher education, I'm confronted with the crippling reality of significant student loan debt, but I know I'm not alone. Millions of students, millions of Americans are burdened with the skyrocketing debt for continually rising tuition costs, living expenses, books, and other educational expenditures. For many students, looking ahead to graduation is filled with dread, with the looming payment dates for their student loans starting 6 months after graduation. For others, post-graduation, their reality is a cloud of debt, with the ever-accumulating interest as they attempt to find work, pay their living expenses, and support themselves as well as their families. This prevents them from becoming homeowners, taking vacations, or even simply getting themselves or their family something nice once in a while. Regardless, it is clear for prospective, current, or former students, the pathway to the middle-class American dream is not as easily attainable. An institutional challenge exists to reach it. To remove this inherent barrier, we must make it easier for student loan debt to be forgiven. We must tackle rising educational costs for all, and should wipe a portion, if not all, student loan debt to allow for the next generation of Americans to reach the American dream they look up and climb up towards.
Hi, my name is Justin Smith. I am a field organizer here at For Our Future, and I wanted to talk a little bit about voting rights. No matter what issue we look at, our civil rights are being attacked, whether it be the over-incarceration of people of color, the school-to-prison pipeline, or the enactment of strict voter ID laws. We have people in power at a state and at a federal level that want to take our country back in time. The only way that we're going to be able to prevent this is by trying to keep the bomb throwers out of office while electing good faith, knowledgeable individuals that want to protect and strengthen our rights. This, however, is going to be made that much more difficult if the Michigan House and Senate majorities have their way and are able to successfully limit people's access to the ballot box. Back in June, the Senate majority actually passed a series of bills that would make it harder to vote by any method, including adding a requirement that voters send in a photocopy of their ID to their local clerks in order to receive an absentee ballot, creating another hoop that people have to jump through, prohibiting local municipalities from paying for the postage for those ballots to be returned to them, and 3, getting rid of an option for voters to sign a legal affidavit saying that they are who they are in lieu of an ID, which was a method established to ensure that people have the right to the ballot box if they didn't have their ID on them at the time. America has been and is continuing to watch the rise of populist authoritarianism. And if the wrong people get elected to high places enough times, our sanctity of the vote will be breached, and so many of our other rights will be in jeopardy. We need action to protect our voting rights now, and I hope you'll work with us to see that come to fruition. Thank you.